Hey guys, it's Missy Gordon, the Metamystic here. It's great to see you. I'm going to do a special partial solar eclipse in Scorpio at 2 degrees reading today. I'm going to do a Celtic cross. So 10 cards, and I'm going to be using this beautiful deck. It's kind of like my moon deck. So let's give this a shuffle. There's this sense of silence that I feel about this period. Everything has felt so damn loud, right? And I'm just seeing, as I'm shuffling, I'm seeing so many people just covering their ears. I'm seeing people like struggling mentally. And remember, this energy is going to be carrying us through for like the next 6 months. This is not just like, okay, we're having the eclipse on the 25th and then that's it, anyways, back to life. This is literally something that we're going to be, Ace of Cups wanting to come out, that we're going to be like grappling with this energy. What I'm seeing though is this crystal lake. I'm seeing the most silent, beautiful lake. It looks like glass. And with that Ace of Cups wanting to pop out as I was about to say this, what that shows me is that where everything has felt so unbearably loud for us, where everything has just felt so unbearably loud, like I just see people rocking back and forth and just like rubbing their temples like about to explode, right? What I'm seeing, though, is that if we will just allow and take advantage of this scorpionic energy and, like, lean into it and allow for, like, all those little critters to come out from, like, the crevices of all the things we've hidden away, like, if we'll just not submit, but just come into a space of, like, okay, I accept this process. I want to embrace this process. I want to grow through this process. We will come into that place of stillness that we have been looking for. Or maybe we didn't even know we were looking for it. Maybe so many of us are just so used to going from one thing to the next that we don't even realize how much we're yearning for that silent crystal lake. Excuse me, as my stomach is like growling here. As we're going into winter, it's kind of like ice skating on that same, that water that used to be so turbulent in the summertime now is just completely like frozen over. There's a silence in the winter. There's a silence. There's a stillness. And one could say there's a deadness, which, is Scorpio too. Death, life, rebirth. But this to me is like a good silence. This is the sort of silence that brings like a state of stability where there has been unrest, where there has been chaos. So that's my intro. Coming into stillness, cutting the cards here. Now let's begin. We have the Ace of Coins at the bottom of the deck. This is our opportunity to have a new sort of stable way of existence with this Ace of Pentacles, this Ace of Coins. Pentacles are not just about money. They're about our lives, the way we feel in our bodies, our health, our wellness, our mental health, our physical health, our homes, our jobs, our families, our friends, our communities. This is the people. This is us. This is our way of life. This is our economy, if we want to think of it in a bigger way. We are given an opportunity with these sorts of celestial, astrological changes in the energy so that we can have the opportunity presented to us, but not, it's, to go back to my minister days, it's like that scripture that says, many are called, but few are chosen. And what that really means is many are called, but only few receive that call. That's what I was talking about at the start of this, and I'm going to start pulling cards, but this is all just channeling through me. It's like what I was talking about with that Scorpio energy. It's not a submission in like that way. You know, I'm not talking like BDSM here. And with Scorpio, you know, that could be, right? But in all seriousness, like there is this sort of allowance. Like we just kneel down and we look up in the sky and we're just like, you know what? I'm sick of my life feeling so damn hard. So everything is so damn loud. Everything feels like it's on these choppy waters, and I just want to have some peace. I just want to have some stability. I just want to have something to rely on, something, you know, somebody to lean on, sort of a thing. That's what we're being offered with this Scorpio energy, with this eclipse happening here. That's the sort of thing that we're being offered, but it's a process that we have to go through, and now we're about to look at that process. So let's begin this process here. Let's start the process. Knight of Wands. That is a very unstable energy is what we're in. It's like some days we feel good, other days we feel completely like the light, you know, it's like the light is just, the fire is blazing one day. And then the next day, it's like cold as ice. It's like, say you were in the winter time and you lived out in a cabin in the woods away from society. You lived off the grid, right? And say one day you're able to find wood to burn. But then another day, it's like you're trying to look for twigs. Like there's nothing. Like you're starting to have to burn like your old shirts and stuff just to get a little warmth. And I feel like there's this state, that's that unrest, that's that chaos, that's that unknowing where it's like, will this change? Will I ever feel like there's just enough firewood to just keep me warm through the night? You know, just people shivering through, you know, metaphorically speaking, these times of unrest in the world. It's hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. It's over here, it's over there, it's over here, it's over there. It's like there's no routine to anything. It's like you know, an unwell parent where every day dad comes home from work, you don't know if he's going to be smiling, you don't know if he's going to be, you know, yelling at you. You don't know what to expect, and it leaves you in a state. As an example, it leaves you in a state of like unrest, like you don't know, there's no stability. Right? So that's where we're starting off with this Knight of Wands here. Now let's see what's crossing us. The Wheel of Fortune is crossing us. We have the chance to come into the new swing of things here. Things can work a lot easier. Like things can move a lot smoother. There can be systems put in place. I'm seeing this right now as a systems card. This is like a systems card, like everything flowing together, everything working together, everything moving together, not in a rigid way, but just in a way of, it's like, think of the seasons. Even though nature does have a sort of chaos to it, at the same time, it's kind of like the Fibonacci sequence, like the golden ratio, like, you know, there's a divine chaos at work here with the Wheel of Fortune, where if we'll just come into the flow of the universe with this Wheel of Fortune, this is a chaos, but this is a divine chaos. This is like a chaos that works. There's like 1,000 colors and 1,000 pieces. Like it's like zooming out from life, like as the eye of God. It's like we are like the mosaic of God, and the universe is looking down on us through this wheel. And it's like a wheel within a wheel within a wheel within a dichotomy within a, you know, within a what's it called? Help me, Spirit. catch-22. It feels like a catch-22. It's, you know, like you don't know where to land here, and the universe is saying, hey, we have this mastered. We have systems in place here. We have seasons here. We have systems. That's just the word that keeps coming through. Like divine order, divine systems, golden ratio, Fibonacci sequence. Like, it seems like it's a bunch of chaos, but actually it's really not. This is the true way to navigate this life, is to allow the universe to ride the wave, so to speak. And that actually is something we can rely on, that we can kind of go with the waves and trust. You know, the universe is not like a father coming home and you don't know what to expect. The universe, it's like, you know, today you might take that route, and then next Thursday you might just have the feeling to take another route. And that might seem a little chaotic, but at the same time you just have a sense to do it. And you find that by taking those little steps that seem like chaos, they all seem to add up. They all seem to come together. This is just chaos for the sake of chaos. This is just, you know, running around, not knowing which end is up, not knowing how to find rest, not knowing what to do with yourself, not knowing how to make your life feel better. It's you never know what to expect. This is the sort of not knowing what to expect, in the way of, you may decide to take a job in another city and you think you're doing one thing and you end up doing a completely different thing because you went there. That's that divine chaos and that divine order, and you never would have done it if you didn't just listen to the universe. We can't always understand what's going on, but it's for our benefit and it's for our good. So, the Hermit is in our foundation here. We have, whether we've realized it or not, we have been in a hermit mode as a collective here. Even if it's just like emotionally. You could be out in the world, you could be talking to 100 people a day, but there's a spot, there's this locket of the heart that I'm seeing a vault. It's like a big vault, and things are locked away. And I'm not saying that we should just go word vomit and trauma dump over every person we come across, but I am saying there is an unlocking that can happen here, that the universe wants to bring us into this time of revealing the heart. I'm just seeing this golden locket, and like when you open up the locket, you see the people you love on the inside. Like, you know, you might have, like, on this side, you might have, like, a picture of your family. On this side, you might have a picture of, like, your partner or your dog or your cat. And it's like an opening of that golden locket here, which is what the Hermit reveals. The Hermit reveals the depths of the heart, the wisdom, the journey, the story of what they learned through this dark night of the soul here. And that has been, you know, a hard journey for many of us. But what we're experiencing here, this turbulence, is actually a gift. This turbulence here at the center of the reed, this Scorpio partial solar eclipse, and I mean, we're going to be having, this is eclipse, you know, this is a season of upheaval, so that it can kind of shake out the hidden beauties and wisdom that we have gained from the time that we've been hermiting away. This is actually a gift and a benefit and a blessing. It's like an agitation of a pearl. It's like that agitation is what creates the pearl. This is the pearl about to be revealed. So let's look at our recent past here. The Eight of Swords, but we were stuck. Look at how she is cornered. She is cornered, and her eyes are blacked out here. It's like there are all these swords at her neck. This is a different sort of an Eight of Swords. Her body is not tied up. It's like she feels like she can't move. Like this is an intense feeling. This is like combined with the Hermit. this is like, oh, there's a reason that we hermited away. There's a reason, it's because we felt like we couldn't just be open and express. We felt like we were in a dangerous world, right? We, even with like, COVID and everything, that was a mass hermiting away, right? And many of us might still be kind of caught in that state where we have almost lost touch with the tangible, and it's only going to become more and more that way as VR becomes AR. And what I mean by that is augmented reality. Augmented reality is a step beyond virtual reality. Virtual reality is still kind of a clunky technology. When it becomes augmented reality, where you can literally be like walking down the street while you're seeing another dimension, essentially. Like, you don't need a phone. You don't need to be tapping. You don't need to be looking at something from the outside. You're looking at social media from the outside. Instead, augmented reality, you will be in that phone. You will be in that reality. You will be between worlds, between dimensions, if you want to look at it that way. We will become more and more detached from reality, more and more detached from humanity, more and more detached. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just saying, as long as we're aware, look, it even almost looks like she's looking down at her phone. We don't want to become so detached, right? Where we become so detached. Like, this doesn't have to be alone. This hermit could be surrounded by 10 others, right? Sitting on the couch next to a group of people, and we're all like this. Right? And hey, I'm literally part of the group. I'm not saying I'm not doing that as well. I mean, I'm all over social media, right? I'm always looking like this. I'm just saying, as long as we're aware, like, we want to get more in touch with like the tactile, in touch with the body, with this Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We want to come more, we almost want to just like pick up some dirt off the ground and start just like rubbing it into our skin or something. Like, we got to get back to that shamanic, deep connection with like ourselves and nature and the world. And I love technology. I'm a tech nerd. I love it all, right? And I'm not saying I'm against it. I believe we need to look at both sides of the coin on all of this stuff. There's a sense of detachment that has never existed on this planet until now, and it's only going to expand. And in the same ways, there will be signs and wonders in like medical technology and advancements with being able to cure things in the brain, being able to, it's going to look like a miracle. It's going to look like a sign. It's going to look like a wonder because of the technology that's coming forward. It's going to just blow us away with how things are so quickly advancing over the next 10 years. But at the same time, in the same way that there are amazing things, there are also, red flags where it's like, okay, we don't want to become so detached and so cold and so alone and so metallic, right? That we don't even, it's like part of us just wants to just live in that alternate reality because things have felt so unstable. But what the universe is trying to show us with this Wheel of Fortune crossing us is that things are uncertain in the world, and the more uncertain and roller coaster like things become, the more the universe, like, I don't want to say revels in it, but kind of, it's like the universe, this is just what the universe does. Like, as things increase in the world, as things become more and more complicated, it's like a complicated, have you ever seen Good Will Hunting, where he's trying to like solve that very complex equation, right? It's like we're in the world right now. There's a very complex equation to how we are to move forward now with everything that's happened and the way things are and the way we feel, right? That for the universe is like the Fibonacci sequence. It's like the golden ratio. It's an equation that the universe, it's kind of like the universe is a grand mathematician and we're the students in the class, and the universe is coming in like we're freaking out, we can't solve the equation, we don't know what to do, and the universe comes in like a professor and sets down, you know, their leather-bound book that they have equations, it's filled with equations over the last 40 years, and they just come in and they slowly kind of tip down their glasses with a slight smirk and say, are you ready to learn something today? That's what the universe is saying. Are you ready to learn something? You want to see how it's done, sort of a thing? This is no match for the universe. This complex equation is solvable, and the universe adapts to all of this and is more than able to guide us through this process. So, what is in the headspace here? The King of Cups. And that would be a good thing to do, to stay connected to your emotions, to connect the head and the heart, to not be so detached, to realize what really matters to you and you alone, not what matters to your mom, not what matters to, you know, your friend, not what matters to your partner even. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that in a way of, what makes me feel? What makes me feel, right? We need to get in touch with our feelings because things have become so cold and so detached and so... It's just, I just keep seeing chrome. It's like this hue, this metallic, it's detached, and this is like us wanting in our heads mentally, us understanding that and realizing that and saying, hey, I want to get back in tune with my heart again. And just the thought is the beginning. It's the seed of that manifestation. Wanting, it's like he's looking at this hope, this looking at the fact, oh, wow, I could have that connection with my body, with my community, with my partner, with my friends, with my, you know, over the holidays. Like, it can be something, it can be joyful, it can be good, it can feel warm, like sitting in front of a warm fireplace, right? That's what we want. That's what we're thinking, even if it's subconscious here. And as long as we just keep thinking that way, all of this we will be given this opportunity. Well, it's not that we will be given. We're being gifted this opportunity whether we take it or not. Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, but few receive the call. Few actually receive the opportunity, but it's being offered across the board for us to have a more holistic life, for us to feel better, for things to feel warmer, for things to feel safer, for things to feel more secure and less chaotic. And even though the world is full of chaos, like I said, it feels like a complex equation, but the universe, the Wheel of Fortune, has been doing this for how long? They know how to adapt. They know how to take a complex equation, and it's like a Tuesday afternoon. You know what I'm saying? We just have to align with that. And that's the safest space to be, in my opinion. So what's coming in the near future here? The Ten of Wands. All of this information may begin to feel like a burden. The more aware we become when we're so close to the end here, it's like carrying, this looks like the spokes of a wheel. You know, like maybe I'm seeing this image of a little boy and their bike breaks down. Like they wipe out down a big hill, right? And the wheel comes off and the spokes are everywhere, right? And it's like he's bringing this home, right? It's a feeling of that. It's kind of like looking back deep into the depths of our childhoods here with all this we've been doing with the Hermit, right? That inner work. That's totally the Hermit. It can feel like a burden sometimes to know, right? The more I learn, the less I know, right? It's that sort of a thing. It feels like every time we learn something new, every time we come into a deeper understanding, it feels like a heavier burden, a heavier weight. But in reality, we are collecting gold. We're collecting valuables. We're collecting wisdom and knowledge. This is not a burden. It's just a burden to know, right? It's a burden to know, because everybody else, it feels like, at least, so many others are just completely detached from reality, because it's easier to be there. It's easier to be there than it is to be carrying the weight of the truth, right? But we can all help with this. We can, if we had 9 other people here and everybody took a wand, it wouldn't be such a heavy burden. So this is a time for us to band together as a group and help bring this transformative energy into the world, so that it can really begin to bring an awareness and a truth that the universe is really the one that is we need to tap into our higher selves. We need to tap into the higher wisdom and the higher knowledge, where it doesn't necessarily make sense, where, on Tuesday I go left and on Thursday I go right, and next Monday I go straight, right? We follow what the universe is showing us to do, what our intuition is guiding us to do, what our emotions are guiding us toward, what we feel drawn to, what we feel attracted to for unexplainable reasons, right? That's what's going to get us out of this kind of perceived stuck energy. You're not trapped. You're not stuck. It's just a perception. So let's go a little bit deeper here. We have the 6 of coins showing up in like our soul space here. How what we are, what we want to be, how we want to be perceived in the world, and how what we're trying to bring forth into the world is this 6 of coins. It is this equal give and take. This is a balanced energy, the 6 of Pentacles. This Knight of Wands is not balanced at all. This is very erratic. This is like, when you have Christmas lights and the lights are flickering, like one part of the Christmas tree is lit up and then the other part is blowing out. This is like that sort of energy. It ruins the whole tree, right? It's like if you have a section of the tree that has blown out lights, you're going to have to redo those lights. And we're living in a state of constant, like, even if it's just minor annoyances, like, this is not going well for me. This doesn't seem to align. It seems like I'm giving too much and I'm not getting anything back. 6 of Pentacles and 6 of Coins. It feels like I'm putting in so much work into something and nothing's happening. I want things to feel balanced in my life. I want things to feel balanced. We talked a lot about that with Libra season, right? This is what we're kind of carrying over from that season as we head into Scorpio. It's like we still want that. We're taking that with us. The lessons we learned about that equal give and take in relationships, in jobs, in mindsets, in energy, in money, right? We're taking that with us from Libra season and we're pulling it into Scorpio. And that is a great thing to bring with us, right? Let me take a sip here. So that's how we're coming in to this season now. We're all the things we learned, we're expecting that to continue, right? Now, what's in our environment? The 4 of Swords. Yeah, a lethargy from others, where it kind of feels like maybe we're giving to situations and maybe they're just kind of meeting us with like boredom or like the silent treatment, or like say it's a job or something. It's like, you're looking to like have this equal give and take with the company or like with your team, and it's kind of just like, nah, I don't really care, right? I don't really fucking care. It's like fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like, That's the energy it feels like. And the Four of Swords is not always that way. That's just what it's coming through here. And how this guy is just kind of like lounging while you're like working your ass off. This is just an example. This could be in relationships. This could even be in your own mind, where you feel like you're doing all this stuff, right, in the tangible world, and you're like making everything look great, and everything's lined up, and then mentally you're kind of just like, I don't really care though. It's like, I'm kind of like bored with this. I kind of just want to like go on my phone and like kind of just like detach from all that crap. I'm kind of like sick of thinking about all that stuff. I kind of just want to escape all that, right? It's that energy coming through again. Once again, and this is coming in the future, the burden of being aware. The burden of knowing, the burden of understanding, being aware of the fact that we're, I don't really care. I'm kind of like lethargic. I'm kind of like I care, but I don't. And I'm just like sick of caring. And like, I want to care. Like, I get what you're saying with like give and take and all that shit. Like, I get it. Like, it's good. I get it. I get the Freudian shit. I get the Carl Jung shit. Like, I get it. But like, I kind of just want to like chill with my phone. You know what I mean? Do you get it? Like, I get what you're saying. But, like, I don't care, basically, is what I'm saying. Hopefully that makes sense. So let's move forward. All right. Hopes and fears. The Magician. Your greatest fear and your greatest hope is that you can actually create a different sort of life for yourself with the Magician. And this Magician, I mean, this guy, like, the cup is, like, levitating. This is an advanced magician. This is the sort of magician that, like, can, like, move things with their mind and stuff. This even is giving me, like, Reiki. It's something with the hands. This is giving hands to me right now. It's giving hands. But like with the Ace of Pentacles, that could be the hands. It's the tangible. There's something about this magician to me that's very like a sleight of hand sort of thing too. Who did I hear this from? I think I heard this from Esoteric Sky when I was listening to his Scorpio analysis of this solar eclipse. I believe it was Esoteric Sky, and he was talking about how this energy is kind of like a sleight of hand energy. It's kind of like a snake charmer. That's what it is. Yes. It's like a snake charmer sort of energy that I'm getting off of this magician. This could be a great thing, right? If we're the charmer, if we're the one in control, we're taking that kind of darker, more elusive energy and kind of using it to bend reality and manipulate the reality in a good way for ourselves. Like, we're kind of staying out of the drama, and we're using the energy of the world to like create our ideal life. Or it could be that we're the ones who are being charmed by this snake charmer sort of character here, where it's an illusion sort of energy, right? So that could be the fear that, you know, that maybe we're learning too much and we're becoming overwhelmed with the reality of the universe, and maybe we are scared that we're it's like a shyster coming in. It's like we're scared that, I don't know if that's a good word to use, but it's like a car salesman. We're worried that, you know, we're learning all these things about like the depths of the universe and like the Fibonacci sequence, and we're staying up until 2 a.m. We're like connecting the dots. We're worried that we're maybe like losing it a little bit, possibly, could be a fear. But no, the hope of this with this energy is that you are the magician. You're in control. That's the other part of the Wheel of Fortune, is you're in control of if you take the opportunities or not. You can say no to this. You can say no to your growth. You can say no to the understanding. You can say no to the burden, but whether you know or whether you don't know, you're still going to be in this energy. I would rather know. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather know. That's just me, especially if we're dealing with this sort of energy that could either be good or bad, depending on how much we understand. You know what I mean by that? So, finally, our last card. We have the Justice card. Everything that we learned from that Libra season, from the time, like with that Six of Pentacles, everything we learned, it's like it's aiding us, it's helping us through this kind of trickier magician sort of energy here. And I'm only saying tricky because it can feel tricky when all this stuff is being revealed and it's just, it feels like a lot, right? It just feels like a lot to know. And it's like, how do we apply this? How do we move with the universe in a way that is going to be healthy for us and everybody involved? It's like there's a lot to that. There's a lot of balancing between the worlds and the dimensions and the senses and kind of trying to figure out, how do I proceed? Right? How do I move forward now with all of this said? How, with this Justice card, with this balance, remaining balanced, right? Having an understanding that, you know, we are kind of detached from the world, but at the same time, you know, you don't have to be a monk out in the woods. You can just be like, all right, I'm only going to like do this for a half an hour. Like, I'm not going to spend 7 hours in like TikTok land or whatever. I'm not going to spend all this time binge watching Netflix. I'm not going to be an escapist. That's that magician energy again. It's like that it's like trying to escape. Who is that famous magician who tried to escape, where he was all chained up and he was like brought down into the water, and he had to escape, right? Like an escape artist. It's like we're becoming these master escape artists. We're escaping reality here. We don't want to live that way. We want to stay in touch with our emotions in a balanced way, right? We want to learn the lessons of wisdom. We want to be taught by the universe what's what, basically, even if it feels like a lot at first. We want to learn with both of these balance energies on how do we live this life in a balanced way? How do we come into a state of harmony? And it's bringing back that Fibonacci sequence to me again, that golden ratio. The golden ratio is like the perfection. It's like just the perfection. It's how do we access that? How do we become that? And that's something that we're learning, and it could feel like a burden at first because it's a lot. But it's like we take this information, even with the Hermit, with all the wisdom of the Hermit, and we like weigh it on these scales. We weigh it. We learn how. We're learning how. We're in the process of learning how to balance things out, right? That's what this Scorpio season is helping us to do. It's helping us to find this divine balance so that when it doesn't matter if we're in the midst of chaos, we're able to come into balance, just like this King of Cups. It doesn't matter that all of this water is raging around him. He finds a way to be in balance emotionally, right? That's what this is all about. You do the hokey pokey, you turn yourself around. That's what it's all about, right? And that's the opportunity. So much love, my friends. It's been Missy Gordon, the Men Mystic here. If you want to get a personal reading from me, I would love to offer that service to you. I'm doing 3 card pulls, 1 question over on my Etsy. So if you want to get a personal reading from me, you can go on over to etsy.com/shop/themetamystic. You can also get me on Instagram at honeybeemusic. B is spelled B33. Much love to you guys. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.